Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd Podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there. You know, at the Combine, I think it's kind of interesting is that everybody likes Kirk Cousins. Everybody. And somebody the other day said this. They said, you know, everybody talks about Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and Baker Mayfield. And this person said, you know, he's got like a career 99 passer rating and completed 69% of his throws last year. And I mean, is a proven high accuracy, high values, win a bunch of game quarterback. When you were at the Combine, a lot of stuff, guy like me in the opinion space, we don't talk about Kirk Cousins because he doesn't make news. You know, he's just very quiet.
Yeah.
But when you're at the Combine, how is that Atlanta opening viewed, for instance?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people think that Cousins is the biggest domino to fall in terms of he's the number one target for the teams that are aggressively going to try to get a quarterback here in two weeks or whenever the official date is, the 13th, because Justin Fields is not viewed very highly. He's viewed highly on Twitter, not by NFL GMs and coaches, right? Not people that are trying to win 9-10 games next year. And Russell's a little more fascinating because he's a very interesting guy because his money's going to be low. But you always talk about this when you're really famous coming into a place, it's a little more complicated, right? With Russell, even though actually numbers wise, he wasn't terrible. He resurrected his career based on 2 years ago. He was terrible. Cousins, before he tore that Achilles, remember that Monday night game against the 49ers? He looked like Peyton Manning. He had really
and the year before, he had a game at Buffalo against Josh Allen and outdueled him. He's got a list of 6 or 7 games against Mahomes, Josh Allen, the Niners, where he has been the best player on the field.
I think he mastered his talent, right? He knows exactly what he is and his mind. You know, a lot of quarterbacks talk about this, right? That as they get older, they realize the game becomes easier. Then the problem is their physical skills diminish, right? Tom's like, I've never been smarter at football. I just don't want to get hit anymore. Peyton Manning's arm was shot. Drew Brees' arm was shot. Cousins did get injured, though, and a pretty major injury. I was with his agent one night, who I've known for a long time. Obviously loves him. I mean, they've made a lot of money together. He got a special contraption that, like a lot of, I'm sure, facilities have and like hospitals have when it comes to rehabbing the Achilles. Because of so much money, he just bought it for his house. You know, this is a guy that takes this stuff very, very seriously. And I guess it's gone really well. He's like, we've put out videos of him moving around. They're not pounding their chest like Aaron Rodgers, like this is going to be a 3-month, but they think all things considered with the injury. Here's the other thing, Colin. His game isn't predicated on running around, right? Like when a corner or a wide receiver tears an Achilles, you go, even Rodgers, like a big part of Rodgers' game is the movement. Cousins is Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. He doesn't move. So when you look at it, you go, well, if he's healthy, it's not like you have to worry. Well, he's not as fast. Well, he never ran to begin with. So you're getting a guy. I think Atlanta, I mean, a lot of signs are pointing to that. Now, he's not cheap, right? And he's proven like that from a business standpoint, they have been very like, they don't take discounts. So you're not getting the guy for 2 years, $60 million. Right. Would you be willing to give him, you know, 70, 80, $90 million guaranteed for sure? You know, it's a 3-4 year contract. But if he's healthy, I mean, Atlanta could all of a sudden be an intriguing, you know, playoff level contender. I mean, hell, they were kind of right there this year for long periods during the season, but their quarterback played like me or you.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting in this league. There's sort of 3 levels of successful quarterbacks. The stars, you know, and we all know who those are: Mahomes, Lamar, Josh.
That's a small handful, too.
Very small, 6, 7. And then the rising young stars, people are excited about. You know, C.J. Stroud, you know, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, whoever. And then there's the guys that you know there'll be no chaos: Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. I think Goff's the most talented of those, but they don't get the fan base necessarily excited. But the minute they land, you start winning double-digit games. I mean, say what you want about Dak. He may have a lower ceiling. Dak gets you into the playoffs. Dak wins 12
won 12 games 3 years in a row.
So I find like Kirk Cousins, He's almost, you juxtapose him with Justin Fields. He's the opposite. There's no flash, no excitement. There's no topics, but I just get 69% completion percentage and not a lot of, doesn't miss a lot of games, doesn't turn it over a lot, moves the chains. If he doesn't score, he puts your defense in pretty good field position. So I think within the league, there's a great appreciation for guys like Goff and guys like Kirk Cousins. I just don't think in the media there is.
I think one thing too is this offense from the Shanahan family is so in vogue. Every team's running it. You half the league is, right? The Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris brings Zach Robinson. What are they going to run? McVay, Shanahan's offense. And I was talking to Jason Light about it. They just hired Liam Cohen, who used to be with the Rams, McVay offense. I said, why do you like this offense so much from a scouting perspective? He said, it's very quarterback friendly. Now, the quarterback still needs to be accurate within that quarterback friend. The Jets ran the Shanahan offense for Zach Wilson. How'd that go? Like, you need to be accurate. Well, what is Cousins? Very, very accurate. What is Justin Fields, for example? Not very accurate. Listen, Cam Newton, who is, the conversation about things he has said, he was an elite talent. I mean, an all-time talent. At that size, that movement, that arm strength, his accuracy was horrendous. Yeah. I mean, he was not he had to overcome it with all that other stuff, and he had it unlike probably less than 2 or 3 guys in the league history. But what happened? Early 30s, if you're not accurate, you can't even function in the league because you're no longer running around. Cousins, as long as you have the arm, right, that Peyton and Breeze lost, you can function late into your career, right? Especially in this league where the quarterback, this isn't 1985 and the Chicago Bears hitting you.
Yeah. The other thing I find fascinating with Justin Fields is Lamar Jackson wins 76% of his starts. And I swear to God, I'm constantly defending him. He's just a winning quarterback. And I think he's more nimble athletically than Justin Fields. Justin Fields is like 10 and 28 turnovers, bad second half quarterback, and he has defenders at every turn. It was interesting in Chicago most of this year, they defended him. And then in the final week, he faced Jordan Love, and you just saw this chasm, this gap, and then it all went away. You can go back to weeks 12, 13. There were a lot of Justin Fields supporters in Chicago. But I think when he matched up and
look who they were playing on some of those wins. I mean,
garbage.
It was the level of competition was a joke.
So I think Justin Fields, I think in the league, as you pointed out, people are realistic about it, but there is a difference between the public perception and people in the league. And I think back to our initial point, Kirk Cousins is well represented, a lot of fans in the league.